Why, hello there. I hope I didn't spook you. Well, today, guys, what we're going to be talking about... Why do I always do this? What am I hiding from? What am I looking at? Oh, look at the wall over there. Today, we're going to be talking about how, I got started gaming, and why I think gaming is so important. Especially indie gaming. I'm gonna throw that caveat on there. Why is indie gaming so important? But before we get going, remember, guys, what you got to do for this video is I want you to quack like a duck and go tell your mom hi. Yeah, that's different enough, right? God, I'm so sick of people saying, "Oh, smash that like button. Oh my goodness, subscribe and hit the bell and join the notification squad." Sorry. Inner angst or salt. I don't know what it is. Anyways, what we're going to do today. So, how I got into gaming. Now, I got into gaming really young. By young, I mean not that young. I started like halfway through the GameCube generation. What had happened was I got in the car with my dad and my brother. We got in the back, and I noticed the box. And it was a GameCube box, all right? And I got in the car, and me being the intellectual that I am, asked my dad, "What's that?" He's like, "It's something for work, don't worry about it." And I was like, "Alright, that makes sense. I can buy that." I feel like I'm really pixelated. It's definitely not shooting in 60 frames. Oh well. I'll get over it. But anyways, that Christmas, lo and behold, got a GameCube. Now the first game I got was either, I can't remember exactly, JetBlue, or I need to look it up. Why do I need to look up what my first game was? This should be super easy. No, don't go on Facebook, Jake. Stop it. It was Wave Race Blue Storm. That's what I was thinking of. Now, I was so bad at this game, and it annoyed me to the nth degree. I couldn't beat it, but this really got me hooked because I was challenged. For the first time in my life, I felt like I was challenged by an activity. School was easy. When I went to first grade, I tested out of the entire school's reading, and I was testing into fourth grade math as a first grader. Not to brag or anything. I'm awesome. But it was like, everything was just really easy for me, and so, fun story, I actually switched from that school because it was too easy, and that was a common complaint about the school. But anyways, this opened me up, and I started getting as many games as I could get my hands on. I would do chores around the house to try and earn money, because yes, my parents still paid me an allowance, but I had to work for it. I was enslaved. Just kidding. That's pretty harsh. I probably should take that out. I was working a part-time job. There. That's probably more accurate than the other analogy I was making. Okay. But anyways, I started buying games. The next game I got was completely different, by the way. It wasn't even remotely related in any way, shape, or form. Need for Speed Most Wanted. Now this, oh my gosh, this was such a good game. I spent like, I don't know how many Saturdays. I had like 400 hours in this game because I 100%ed it. I beat the game. I got every car, beat all the races. I was the best. I never played online though. I don't even remember if you could play online for this. When did that come out? When did Need for Speed Most Wanted come out? It came out in 2005, so I was 14 years younger than now, so 13, 9. I was 9 when this game came out, right? That's how that worked. 23. I'm 23 now, minus 14. No, it's not 14, you idiot. It's 13. It's not even 13. It's like 12. I was 11. I'm a moron. That's besides the point. Don't you understand? But this game, like, and the music in it. Now, the music in this, there were a few rock tracks that actually, like, opened my music horizons. That's how much gaming just affected my life. As I was listening to like contemporary Christian or soft rock, all religious music, and I loved it. And then I opened this up, and I love that too now. I don't really listen to the contemporary anymore. I'm kind of a death metal head, but that's a story for a different day. So from here, it was basically open season for games. I would buy as many Mario games. I think I got, was Paper Mario on the GameCube or was that the Wii? I think it was the GameCube. I got Super Mario Baseball for all you people that remember that. That one was awesome. I got so many games. I had like 30 some games, maybe 50. I think it was closer to 50 games when I finished. I sold them all. No, I didn't sell them all. I gave them to my cousins. When I got the Wii, I gave my GameCube and all my games to my cousins. Big mistake. I should have held on to those. But anyways, after that, my brother and I were trying to figure out what we wanted to do for our next game system. And so we're like, well, let's save up for the Wii, man. Let's get the Wii. Everybody's got the Wii. The Wii looks great. So we started saving up. We got a little bit ways there. And then we're like, no, man, why are we getting the Wii? There's only like 2 games we want on there. So we started saving up for the Xbox 360, which a far superior product, by the way. We didn't know that at the time, though. We were just looking like, oh, well, this one's got like racing games. This one's got like sports games. Yeah, I was into sports games for some reason. I don't know where that came from. I don't like sports. It's just sports. My brother loves sports. He's a football player at a college. But anyways, I'm getting off topic like I always do. we were going to go between the two. And then we decided, okay, let's pool all of our money for the Xbox 360 since it's more expensive, and later we can save up for the Wii U. Well, turns out not the Wii U. It turns out we got the Wii for Christmas for my grandma. My grandma got everyone in the family, or every family of the family, a Wii. So we didn't need to pay for that anymore. We still realized that it was kind of fun, but it also kind of sucked. I don't know. The Wii was great. I liked it as a system and as a concept, but I didn't like so much to play it other than like the stupid sports games. I was amazing at tennis and boxing. Just saying. Once we got the 360, that's I couldn't even play first person shooters yet, actually. So I was stuck to all the weird games. What was my first game on the Xbox? What was my first game on the Xbox? I don't even remember what my first game on the Xbox was. I want to say it came with Ghost Recon, but we had to take that back because that wasn't allowed. I got, what was the name of it? That's another GameCube game I totally forgot about. Tak and the Power of Juju. Yeah, Tak and the Power of Juju. I played so much of this game as well. This was my friend and I's like favorite game for so long. Which one was it though? Yeah, the Great Juju Challenge. That's the one we played. That was, we rented this game easily 16 times to try and beat it. Yeah, I didn't buy it. I was just an idiot and rented it whenever I had the money to go out and rent it. Because I didn't have a job yet. I was still like 12 or 13. Anyways, I'm going back to the GameCube era when I'm on the Xbox. It was it Ratchet and Clank? No, Banjo and Kazooie. Banjo and Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts. I think this was on the Xbox, right? It was indeed. It was on the Xbox. I played so much of this on the Xbox that I actually wore out an entire controller because I beat it. And then I went back and beat it again. And then I just started playing around on it. Like, I just started making random vehicles. Like, you could make so much stuff in this game. Which is probably one of the reasons why I became an engineer, is because I wanted to make stuff like this. Sorry, I'm scrolling through pictures here, just looking at it. You guys should look this stuff up. I might flash an image or two on the screen here or here. But that's just keeping editing me on top of things. Yeah, and then my friend showed me Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. That was an eye-opener. I didn't even realize games like that existed. And then, like, I got in trouble for that game so many times because I would borrow it from him, not tell my parents, and then my brother would rat me out. That was I got mad at him for that, but I understand what he was trying to do. He was trying to suck up so that way eventually he could be allowed to play it because he'd be the responsible one. He's 3 years younger than me, by the way. So he was like 10 at the time, maybe 11, 12. Maybe I got the Xbox 360 before I was in high school. I was definitely in middle school. But then, after that, I discovered Halo. Now, Halo is by far, bar none, the greatest video game series ever before 343 took over. Now, I still like 343 and what they've done with the game, but it's not the same as what Bungie did. I loved all of those games. The first game I got, I pre-ordered Halo Reach. I actually got the display box from GameStop. I won that drawing. I couldn't go to it, but my neighbor could, so that was pretty fun. And then I played so much Halo Reach. I think I have over 1,000 hours in Halo Reach, and I got 2 ranks away from the top rank. And I was the best one out of my friends. I had beaten almost all the missions, legendary, all skulls on, which means no deaths, shields don't recharge, no HUD, all this crap that just makes your game so hard. If you have not played Halo Reach, buy an Xbox 360 or an Xbox One, whichever. Get Halo Reach and play it. It's such a great game. The story is very similar to Halo CE, but it's so much fun. And then after that, spend a little bit of time. I buy the Xbox One, but you know, there weren't many notable games on that except for maybe Assassin's Creed Black Flag. My encoder's yelling at me, so I might have to cut some of this out. But anyways, then I move on to PC gaming. All right, after there, biggest first game I got was SimCity 5. That was the first one I wanted. And then I got, oh man, I forgot to talk about Minecraft on the Xbox 360. I played Saturdays. I would spend my entire day mining sand on Saturday, and it was fun. My friend and I built a 100 by 100 castle in survival mode, getting like 10,000 blocks over the course of like 6 months. Now that world's gone, of course. I'll never be able to find that again. But we spent so much time, so many wasted Saturdays and stuff. Man, I'm thinking of so many stories I could tell. You guys will have to let me know if you want to hear more stories about how I got started in gaming. But then I got the PC, and that, again, blew my mind to what games could be. Especially because graphics were getting better. I was able to get a 2 gig graphics card in my laptop before I went off to college. And I got SimCity 5 and then Terraria. Those are the major games. But anyways, now I want to talk about why gaming is so important, in my opinion. Gaming can open your imagination to things that you would never even consider as being something you could think about. And that's why it was so much fun for me. It's like when I first started gaming, it was just, oh, I'm making a movie on my screen. That's so cool. And that's about what it was. But then I started hearing new soundtracks in games. I started hearing new noises. I started realizing that certain things were possible or not so possible. But you also learn critical thinking. And you learn a lot of times with those games where they're really hard, you learn how to keep trying and trying over and over again. And that's such an important lesson that people don't know nowadays. And I don't even know why, but people they'll try something for 20 minutes and then it won't work and then they'll give up, and I don't understand. Especially on YouTube. People will put out like 2 videos, expect to be at 1,000 subscribers and get all bitchy when they aren't. But maybe I'm getting a little too aggressive there. Anyways, where was I? I get on these tangents and I try and come back and I completely forget where I was. Why gaming is important. Like I said, it brings out these critical thinking skills that you have to learn how to solve a problem that doesn't obey the laws that you're used to. And that's something that's very difficult to understand as a younger kid, but when you get older, you can appreciate that if you get into like a technology company or even a marketing company, you might end up realizing nobody's ever done this before. What am I supposed to do? What are the rules? You don't know. You need to learn how to work inside the boundaries. First, figure out what are the boundaries, and second, what can you do within those boundaries? And while you may not know them initially, you'll figure them out. And that's the same thing in gaming. Like usually it drops you into a game, you don't really know what's going on, but you start to learn, you start to feel it out. It might give you a few instructions right here, but you'll learn what you're doing. And that's a super valuable lesson. But now I just want to bring up why I think indie gaming is so much more important than just gaming in general. Indie gaming is where you can express your personal take on the gaming scene, for lack of a better term. But it lets you shape where gaming is going. You might come up with the next big idea that nobody's ever seen before, and all of a sudden, everybody's talking about it. For instance, Flappy Bird. That was just such a stupid concept for a game. And it took over the world in like a month and a half. It was crazy. It was probably, so many people would probably come up with the idea, but like, oh, I can make that super easy, but nobody's going to play it because it's so stupid. And somebody actually just does it. Probably thinking the same thing, that it's so stupid that nobody's going to do it, but they just do it for whatever reason, and it becomes super popular. And it's not even like the most creative game in the world. It's not the most complicated. It's not even the best designed or the best coded, and anybody that has played it can tell you that. Because you got 2 different frame rates on different devices. But anyways, that's why the indie gaming scene is so important, and why players, developers, and I guess tooting my own horn a little bit here, but people that on YouTube or other video streaming services that play these games and give feedback are trying to bring a spotlight to indie gaming, and the indie gamers are trying to change the universe. Possibly. You might not. You might not be. I don't know. I digress. I don't even know what that word means. What I'm trying to say is, and I'm saying it really poorly, is that indie game developers are literally in the process of making the next greatest game. They just don't know it. You might make a game that sparks an idea in person A, let's call you person A, comes up with an idea that you think is really cool and original. You execute it, maybe don't do it the best. Somebody else comes in, they see it, they're like, oh, that's a really cool concept. I'm going to take that and put it over here. Somebody else sees it, and you might have done a terrible job, and your game does horrible. But somebody took your idea, or built on your idea, and made the next best thing, and you might have just accidentally shaped the entire gaming scene for the next 20 years, and you have no idea. Now that would really suck. Or you could have the greatest idea. Everybody knows you have the greatest idea. And you get a bunch of spin-offs off that. I think that one kind of sucks more because it's people like that are even trashier than the people that just saw an idea and built on it and then made it popular. I don't know. I hope what I'm saying is coming across, but I guess moral of the story, indie game developers, you guys are the coolest guys ever. Indie game players, you guys are the best gamers and the riskiest gamers some of the times. But you guys play some of the most important games. Now, I realize AAA titles are super important too, and they really bring attention to the scene. But you guys, indie developers, are the ones sweating, crying, bleeding over these games and making tomorrow's games possible. And there is something to be said about the person that really toils at it, gets no recognition, and ends up changing the world. So kudos to that. Keep up the good work, guys. And hopefully you'll stick around and watch some more indie games or help me support indie gamings in my own personal way that literally like 500,000 people have already done. But hey, it's me doing it this time. It's different, right?